So it came out recently that Lil Uzi and Roc Nation had a lawsuit against them by one of their very own employees. Today we have a video by Poetic Flacco going into more detail about the whole situation. If you're new to the channel, please leave a like so I know that you guys were here, and go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification. Now without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this video.
Lil Uzi Vert just got exposed for doing some pretty disgusting and predatory things. So here's what's going on. Roc Nation and Lil Uzi Vert has been named as co-defendants in this new lawsuit by Lil Uzi Vert's ex-assistant, who's alleging that she suffered a multitude of harassment at the hands of Lil Uzi Vert, and Roc Nation, who was her employer, overlooked it. Lil Uzi Vert is signed to Roc Nation management team, and Roc Nation is who hired her to be Lil Uzi Vert's assistant. Just like we've seen with the Megan Thee Stallion lawsuit, which Megan Thee Stallion ex-assistant sued Roc Nation and Megan Thee Stallion for, I believe, like workplace discrimination, harassment, like labor issues. And, you know, she said she suffered this at the hands of Megan Thee Stallion. However, her employer is Roc Nation. So they got to be sued as well for creating a hostile work environment or creating an environment where them being abused was tolerable. Now,
This might just be me, but whenever I hear Roc Nation involved in a situation, it's never good. And especially when it comes to these rappers, like nowadays, man, like you would think that like these rappers wouldn't have to try so hard to, get their little thing done, but it seems like I'm always hearing like rappers being extremely thirsty to get the most, like, I'm not gonna say regular girls, but like, the common everyday girl, you know what I mean? Not to say that she isn't, like, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's a lot of more women throwing themselves at them, throwing themselves at these rappers that they shouldn't need to try. But I feel like they probably just love the chase or something like that. That's what it's got to be.
In the case of Lil Uzi Vert, the assistant would claim that almost immediately from being hired to be Lil Uzi Vert's assistant, the sexual harassment started. It became pretty evident and very clear very quickly, based on Lil Uzi Vert's and Roc Nation reaction to this lawsuit, that this lawsuit isn't some frivolous, cloud-chasing lawsuit with no merit. No, this lawsuit is pretty credible and is pretty damning. So Uzi met this chick randomly shopping at Balenciaga in LA. He really liked her customer service, I guess, and decided he wanted to make her his personal assistant, so she signed on board. And then ultimately, it got to a point where I think Uzi was with Roc Nation. So the chick took a meeting with Desiree.
So it looks like, okay, so it looks like her name is, the girl's name is Desiree Perez. It looks like she was, requested to get paid a salary of $100,000 to work for Roc Nation and Lil Uzi Vert and, their little circle, whoever, you know what I mean? It looks like she also requested a $5,000 relocation fee, so that way she can, probably move closer to them, or, you know what I mean, kind of be in that vicinity. And looks like Woods. So Woods is Lil Uzi. He was the one that he was asking her to stay the night with him in his hotel. Now, this is kind of crazy. Because like he can probably say he might try to run off and say, well, I was just trying to, I wasn't trying to spend that much on a, or have her like out in the street or whatever, so I was inviting her into my hotel room. It's big. I'm sure it's big. It's probably like a whole entire condo. But then again, it's like, well, Lil Uzi is not broke, so it's like, why didn't you just pay for another separate like hotel to her, or for her, I mean? And it looks like at the bottom it says he continued to pester her and sending her dozens of messages in an effort to convince her to sleep in his hotel room. So that's where the weirdness that's where it gets weird, man. That's where it gets tricky, because it's like, well, like I said, you're not broke, so why didn't you just pay for another hotel room if it wasn't like supposed to be like I guess like there was an insinuation,
Perez,
a sexual one,
for a salary expectation, and Desiree Perez and her agreed upon her getting paid $100,000 and a relocation fee for $5,000 to move from LA to New York. And apparently, once she got the $100,000 payday, Uzi didn't waste any time getting right to it. According to her, on the same day that she signed the $100,000 salary contract, I guess, Uzi texted her and asked her to stay the night with him at his hotel room. Despite her stating that she did not feel comfortable with Lil Uzi Vert's request, he continued to pester her sending her dozens of messages in an effort to convince her to sleep in his hotel room. Man, listen, bro. Y'all can call me what y'all want to call me, bro. I ain't here to pretend with nobody, bro. Straight up, man. Man, that's exactly what an nigga would do, man. Man, cut it. Man, yo, y'all can sit here and y'all can play the internet
Flacco be
games and y'all
killing
can
me,
play
bro.
the respectability politics and y'all can play the no Flacco, how do you know he really did? Man, cut it out, bro. Man, you know this what niggas do, man.
He
You
said,
know this what niggas do, man.
type shit.
Imagine being able
Oh, I
to
gotta add y'all. My fault. I gotta get that YouTube premium, man. What's going on with me today? I'm a copy, y'all. I'm a copy. I'm tweaking.
You seen a little bad chick at Balenciaga's and you really liked her customer service so much you wanted to make her your assistant. Cut it out, man. Cut it out, man. And hitting the broad up right after she got the promotion, of course. We know what that was, man. Man, I ain't finna pay no chick $100,000 if I can't crack. That's what he said.
That's what he thinking, man.
But it didn't just stop here. Yo, this chick actually had messages between her and Lil Uzi Vert. And what I would say, man, is when it comes to Igga, when it comes to the culture or urban culture, this is probably acceptable and normal. When it comes to anybody else, you like the closest thing to Harvey Weinstein, man. This is like Harvey Weinstein activities that Uzi was on. These niggas get a couple $1 million and forget the hue of their skin tone. Uzi was moving like his last name was Shorts and he was one of God's chosen people, man. Because Uzi, he attempted to violate the white man's daughter, bro.
Yo, okay, so supported by his management team, defendant Woods, so Lil Uzi, for 2 years hounded plaintiff during her employment as his artist management coordinator with unwelcome sexual demands and advances such as, I sent you something on Vanish, come run me down before you leave, I'm by myself right now, send me something, let me see. All right, bro. Yeah, Lil Uzi, bro, he was, clearly unhinged, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody, like, from an employee to, manager or boss perspective, that should not be the case. You know what I mean? This is a reason why they have certain rules in workplaces, because it's just not a professional relationship, you know. And look, at the bottom it says he wrote to her, "You are more than my assistant. You are." Oh yeah, that's actually crazy work. And if it's so crazy because if they have like physical evidence, undeniable like evidence of like him saying this stuff, oh, he's fried. He's fried. I mean, they've been building a RICO case since 2022, apparently. So, I mean, what does this mean for Lil Uzi? I mean, like I said, bro, I don't think these rappers, I mean, it's not like these rappers don't have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of women throwing themselves at them. But it must be the chase. It must be like with the girls that don't really like them in that sort of fashion. I'm sure she listens to Lil Uzi before. I'm sure she, likes him as like a supporter and fan, but not in a romantic way or like a sexual way. So I think they must love the chase or something like that. I don't know.
And I'll be real.
Or it could be an ego trip, because I know Lil Uzi probably has a huge ego. The girl obviously was rejecting these advances, and that probably hurt his ego a little bit.
How this play out, she probably knew from day one, oh, I got him. I'm going to file this lawsuit someday, bro. Man, let them fire me.
Oh, yeah,
man.
she was building that RICO case.
Because if you look at the other messages that Uzi was sending her, bro, it's like, man. So Uzi sent her, I sent you something on Vanish. Mind you, this is his employee. Come rub me down before you leave. I'm by myself right now. Send me something.
It's crazy.
Let me see that booty. Yo, you know what Rick Ross taught all of us, man? Even though what Rick Ross says was ignorant as hell, one of the most ignorant things I think I've ever heard from anybody. But Rick Ross once said, man, listen, I can't sign no female artist, man. And they said, why, Ross? Why won't you sign a talented woman and invest in her? Ross said, listen, man, all right, listen up, bro. All right, so I'm supposed to sign a chick, get her body done, pay for her hair, her makeup, her nails, make her the baddest bitch on earth, make her so desirable, man, that other men want to be with her. But I'm the only man on earth who can't sleep with her, or else I get charged with all type of crimes and lawsuits. Man, cut it out, man. I'm good. Now, it's not for me. I'm not doing it. Now, that was ignorant for Rick Ross to say, but you kind of want to be a Rick Ross before you are a Lil Uzi Vert. Because
Right.
what Lil Uzi Vert told this chick, as you guys are about to hear, is actually right in line with what Rick Ross said, but Rick Ross got backlash for it. So Uzi apparently wrote this chick, and he told her, "You are more than my assistant. You are my bitch." I would hate to be
That
a
was
woman,
crazy. That
especially
was
in any
crazy work.
profession that caters to any hip hop personality or any rapper. Because when you are in the culture, now again, I can only speak for hip hop culture. I can't speak for country or rock culture because I don't know, right? I don't know too many country artists or rock stars. But when you are a woman and you are in a profession where you are catering to rappers and hip hop personalities and hip hop figures, what you're subjected to is more than just usual harassment. No, these people or these rappers feel like they own you. They feel like you are their property. And it's because a lot of them, in their mind, what you're doing ain't really that taxing. They don't really value what you're doing at all. So the value they see in you is their ability to sleep with you. So in the case of Lil Uzi
Wow.
Vert, or let's say other rappers, if you are a personal assistant and you're going on trips with him, going on tour with him, and you're picking up his calls, and you're picking him up food, and you're doing his laundry at times, and you're dropping off things, and you're handling his schedule and things of that sort, man, they see that as a responsibility for a girlfriend. They don't really see value in that. The only reason they pick you is because they want to sleep with you. Unfortunately for Uzi, though, this chick had a mastermind in her corner, man. This chick had a dude who's just like me in her corner, man. All right, man, baby, don't trip. All right, don't trip. All right, don't quit that job. Let him do what he gotta do. So the mastermind, which is her boyfriend, he encouraged her to start therapy amid struggles of burning out and harassment by Lil Uzi Vert. So in January of 2024, plaintiff Doe, which is the ex-assistant, was encouraged by her partner and began therapy due to the stress and emotional distress she experienced due to Lil Uzi Vert's harassment. Plaintiff Doe began going to therapy on a regular basis. Oh my God. Oh, it's oh.
Oh man, this is bad. So basically, once Lil Uzi's debit cards were getting declined at for it ran dry, no more expenses or whatever, like no more money coming out of those accounts. She had to pay out of pocket for all of her food, all of her clothes, any alcohol, any fun. That means anything like that. And not only for hers, I believe, but for Lil Uzi's and his entourage. Mind you, she's making only $100,000 a year compared to Uzi. Probably made like $100,000 in a week, if not a day or something like that. You know what I mean? So when she, contacted the people, what I'm saying, Rock Nation, they told her basically, you're only entitled to your salary. I don't know what else to tell you, gang. So I hope she really read the contract before she signed it, because if it says somewhere like, oh, you're only entitled to your salary, man, that's like that yeah, she's cooked on that part. But
Bruh, this lawsuit is one of the closest things.
But then again, these are business expenses. If she can prove that these are business expenses, then that's a whole different story. Because then these are not just like, this is not for her living expenses. This is not to pay her car note or to pay her rent, and et cetera, et
I think
cetera.
I've ever seen to a certainty, man. You gonna get some paper out of it. Yo, lawsuit this ironclad? Nah, bro, you can't get your way out of this, bro. She even started therapy and documented the therapy journey because of the harassment. And trust and believe, she did this on purpose, by the way. In February of 2024, the company debit cards provided to make purchases for defendant Woods ran dry. Plaintiff was directed to pay out of pocket for food, clothes, and alcohol for Lil Uzi Vert and his entourage. When plaintiff contacted Lil Uzi Vert's manager with requests for reimbursement for her business expenses or standard per diem, she was told she was only entitled to her salary. To this day, they have failed to fully reimburse her for her business expenses. To me, this has to be like an ego thing. I can't possibly think
Right, that's what I was
or
saying
come to the
earlier.
conclusion Uzi Vert was just so horny that he must smash his assistant. Like, you're Uzi Vert, bro. You could literally cheat on your living girlfriend who you have by going on Instagram and just, hey, who want to F me? You will have a million girls trying to F you the same night. So this can't be just a horny thing. It has to be some type of
It has to be an
ego
ego thing.
tripping power dynamic he has in his head going on. Because even when you see the next messages where he's verbally abusing her, he brings up like the race dynamic a lot, which points to me out. Okay, he gets off on berating this chick. Like he gets off on this chick serving him. He has some type of weird race fetish going on in his head. Man, Uzi on timing, man. Uzi tells this white girl.
Okay, hold on. Stop being so effing soft. This is me to you. Wait, what? No black rapper will be able to tell a white girl to stop being soft. What? Well, today I am. Stop being soft. I don't care if you're mad, sad, cry, whatever. You're a girl, you're supposed to. When Plaintiff Doe apologized for the oversight, Lil Uzi responded, "You are more than my assistant. You are my..." Yeah, he's crazy, man. So Lil Uzi became angry when Plaintiff Doe failed to organize all his white... Bro, while under the influence. Yeah, bro. Defendant wasn't over the... Yeah, bro.
Stop being so effing soft. This is me to you. No black rapper will be able to tell a white girl stop being soft. Well, today I am. Stop being soft. I don't care if you mad, sad,
so crazy,
cry, whatever. Bro. You a girl, you supposed to. And when the assistant apologized for the oversight, Lil Uzi Vert responded, "You are more than my assistant. You are my bitch," which was a recurring theme apparently. Now, this is not as bad as it gets. It gets worse, okay?
This is...
During another text exchange in October of 2024, Lil Uzi Vert became angry when the assistant failed to organize all his white clothes in one closet. While under the influence, Lil Uzi Vert sent the assistant over a dozen messages. That's the example of niggas getting money and start acting out their body. When you was in the hood of North Philadelphia, you wasn't organizing all your white clothes in one closet. You get some paper. Now you're trying to act outside of your body. Like that wasn't
he acting out of his body for real.
Principal thing for you, bro. Like that wasn't an important thing for you, bro. Y'all get money and just start doing anything, bro. Honestly, after reading this back again, these messages are now worse than the last one.
You're a base. Okay. So hold on. Sorry, y'all. You were when he was on the. You were not even on drugs like I am. I don't understand your mental over being successful. What? What is that? Bro? These, like I'm just a pushover, but I'm not upset. Life only gets better. I'm not trying to be in a bad mood. Everybody counts me out. Like I'm not really a star. I feel that, but I have somebody doing it today. Just a little upset, honestly. I'm just mad. It's cool. Yeah. So yep. It's definitely this is definitely one of those. Excuse me. Definitely a situation where this is definitely an ego thing. It's definitely a power trip. I mean, I don't know what else you can label it. I mean, it's right here in front of our faces that this is like some power dynamic, power trip thing where he feels like he's being counted out even though he's a star. And it's probably something that, comes from like, early on in his life when the reason why he became successful and wanted success so bad is so everyone can like cater to him and treat him, treat him like a king or whatever. So when, Desiree Perez, since some girl from probably that worked at some fashion store in Oklahoma, just an example. This is like he tells her that, hey, I'm gonna pay you $100K plus $5K to relocate or whatever. You come on with me, and she ain't giving up no cheeks. Like Flacco described that situation earlier, like when he used Rick Ross's I guess philosophy. With the whole, like, you're investing to where, making her, designing her life to where a lot of men especially are going to want her or be around her, and you don't even get nothing from it. This is definitely a power trip, y'all. This is definitely an ego thing. See, like, it's so crazy because they don't say, when people say money changes you, and it could either be in a good way or a bad way, but I believe money only makes you more of what you already are. And this is clearly shown in Lil Uzi's case here. Like, he was already like this when he was broke, 100%. Like, this wasn't like, money didn't change him to be like this kind of guy. He was already like this before. The money only made him more of that person, so.
But it does kind of show, like, how unstable and erratic Lil Uzi Vert is and how working for him might be hell. So Lil Uzi Vert like tells her or confesses that he's currently on drugs. He says, "You're not even on drugs like I am. I don't understand your mental over being successful. You are basically saying F what he say. like I'm just a pushover. All this because she didn't, I guess, organize his clothes like correctly. But I'm not upset. Life only gets better. I'm not trying to be in a bad mood. Everybody counts me out. Like I'm really not a star. I feel that ish. But I have somebody doing it today. Just a little upset, honestly, in regards to the clothes. When Plaintiff Doe responded to Lil Uzi Vert's messages and asked where they go from here, he responded, "I'm just mad. It's cool." Defendant Lil Uzi Vert, sexual and verbal harassment of Plaintiff Doe continued throughout the year. Our next complaint is pretty consistent with other lawsuits I've been seeing from other personal assistants of celebrities. Apparently, like, overtime is not a thing because in a lawsuit, she would say, yo, there were days that she was working like 39 hours straight, but she never received overtime compensation. Like, they gave her a salary, and that salary was $100,000 a year. However, you know, when like she was often working 12-hour days, 18-hour days, 39 hours straight, she wasn't receiving any type of extra compensation, and she feels like that was not fair. This is the exact same complaint that we see Megan Thee Stallion personal assistant has. They both were, I guess, working for Rock Nation. So maybe it's just a Rock Nation thing, but I don't know.
It's definitely a Rock Nation
Is a personal
thing.
assistant supposed to be on call 24/7? Do they not have a life as well? If that's the case, I don't think $100,000 is worth it. I don't think $100,000 is worth literally
Right.
being somebody's servant 24 hours a day. I'm good, bro. Right? If I had to make my $42,000 a year and do that and still have my freedom, I would do that, bro. I can't
Right.
be on a back and call for someone 24 hours a day with no personal life for $100,000 a year. Not happening. She broke down how the labor code, I guess, codifies the right to overtime compensation and 1.5 times the regular hourly rate of pay for hours worked in an excess of 8 hours a day or 40 hours in a week for the first 8 hours worked, blah, 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 blah. So during a relevant time period, apparently she's claiming that she worked in excess of 8 hours in a day, excess of 12 hours in a day.
Wow.
In
So
excess
she basically wasn't paid for her overtime at all. And this is in California, so this is like they're violating California law by doing this. So yeah, this is actually kind of crazy, man. So yeah,
40
man.
hours in a week, for which she claims should have been compensated.
Now that they didn't pay her overtime, they're gonna be I'm gonna say when and if she wins this lawsuit, they're gonna be paying a lot more than what they should have paid her for the overtime.
At an overtime rate. Apparently they didn't do so. Okay. But where do we see this lawsuit going? Well, lucky for you, we got the answers. It's not going nowhere. Okay.
Oh, really?
The bag was dropped. Okay. The defendant, the assistant, was given a bag.
So they just paid her off.
And she dropped the lawsuit. Okay. They came to a settlement. All right. Now, what that settlement is, how much it is, I don't know. But they came to a settlement and the lawsuit was dropped.
It was obviously enough
Because,
for her to.
yo, she had them right, left, and center. It wasn't even a discussion at this point, bro. It was not even a discussion. Like, what's there to discuss? She got the messages, she got the proof, she got everything you
Right.
need. Cut.
She already built the RICO case.
You know, Rock Nation dropped that bag, man. All right, y'all let me know in the comment section. What do you guys?
Because they knew, this is what I think. They definitely just, I'm telling you, money solves a lot of problems, man. They paid her off, obviously a really good amount for her to be like, all right, I'm gonna shut up and just move on with my life, but I'm not working for y'all ever again. Because they knew that if this like turned into something even bigger, and it was gonna affect their artist's name, and it was also gonna affect their business name, they were not gonna take that chance because they were gonna lose sales in the long run versus just taking care of this right now. Throw a band-aid on it and then let her go on about her day. But let me know what y'all guys think in the comment section down below. I'd love to appreciate to hear your feedback, but do so respectfully in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. And without further ado, we'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.